Lamborghini has built some of the wildest cars on earth, machines that make your heart race before you even turn the key. But in 2018, they released something nobody expected, a four-door, high-riding SUV. People called it risky, even crazy, and yet, in just a few years, it became their biggest hit. This is the story of how the Lamborghini Urus went from controversial newcomer to the king of super SUVs. Walking into a sleek showroom, you'd expect to see low, roar-worthy supercars like the Lamborghini Aventador or Huracán. But today, your eyes go straight to a big, bold SUV parked at the front. It looks aggressive, powerful, and totally unexpected. That's the Lamborghini Urus, and believe it or not, it's the best-selling Lamborghini ever. I know what you're thinking. How did a massive SUV with a sky-high price tag become the brand's biggest success? Let's take a quick trip back to where this all began, with a man and a dream. In 1963, a tractor builder named Ferruccio Lamborghini decided to take on Ferrari. After World War II, he built his wealth by turning old military engines into tractors. With that success, he hired top engineers like Giotto Bizzarini for engines and Gianpaolo Dallara for chassis, and set out to make a fast, beautiful road car. The result was the Lamborghini 350 GT, complete with a roaring V12 engine and an elegant body. That was Lamborghini's first roar into the supercar world. Just 2 years later, Ferruccio launched the Lamborghini Miura, which was a mid-engine, jaw-dropping beauty that rewrote what a sports car could look like. The Miura became the world's first true supercar, thanks to its daring design and raw speed. From there came the Lamborghini Countach in the early 1970s. It was sharp, wild, and unforgettable. Lamborghini became synonymous with boldness. But the ride wasn't all smooth. Financial trouble, ownership changes, and even thoughts of shutting down threatened the brand. In 1998, Audi stepped in, bringing stability and new money. That led to the production of models like the Lamborghini Gallardo and Murcielago. These cars breathed life back to Lamborghini. Then in 2018, Lamborghini made a radical move. They launched the Lamborghini Urus, which was their first modern SUV and their first since the wild LM202 of the 1980s. The bold SUV shape was powered by a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 supercar engine putting out 650 horsepower. It dashed from 0 to 60 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds. It was fast, ruthless, and unmistakably Lamborghini, despite being taller and roomier than ever before. The Urus took off. Lamborghini thought they would sell around 3,500 units per year. Instead, demand skyrocketed. In 2019, they built over 5,200 units of the Urus, and sales stayed strong through 2023 at nearly 5,900 units. By 2022, total production hit over 20,000 units, making the Urus the fastest-selling model in Lamborghini history. So here's the big question. Why did the Urus become Lamborghini's bestseller despite costing well north of $240,000? First, it brought supercar performance with everyday usability. You could drive your kids to school, cruise to a mall, then hit a racetrack, all in the same car. That mix of thrill and practicality hit a rare sweet spot. Second, it unlocked a whole new audience. About 85% of Urus buyers had never owned a Lamborghini before. Many came from other luxury brands or used SUVs. The Urus turned heads, not just at speedways, but in grocery store lots. The Lamborghini Urus isn't just a car, it's a statement of attainable luxury. Let's stack it against its rivals. Take the Bentley Bentayga, for example, a close cousin from the same parent company. Both SUVs cost around $200,000, but when you compare them side by side, the Urus has the edge. It's lighter at around 2,200 kilograms versus the Bentayga's nearly 2,440 kilograms. The Urus has 650 horsepower and 627 pounds of torque. The Bentayga's W12 makes 600 horsepower and 664 pounds of torque, yet the Urus blasts 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, while the Bentayga takes 4.1 seconds. Its top speed, about 190 miles per hour for the Urus, while the Bentayga tops at 187 miles per hour. When it comes to real-world acceleration, the Urus pulls ahead in nearly every measure. For example, going from 60 to 100 kilometers per hour takes the Urus just 3.0 seconds, while Bentayga needs 3.2 seconds. At higher speeds, the gap widens. Plus, the Urus stops quicker. From 200 kilometers per hour to 0, the Urus takes 133 meters, and the Bentayga stops in 140 meters. Even in fuel use, the Urus edges out with about 9.1 liters per kilometer, compared to Bentayga's 11.5. However, the Bentayga is slightly larger and heavier. It's about 3 centimeters longer and 9 centimeters taller, offering more cargo but feeling more stately and a more classic luxurious. The Urus is lower, wider, and more aggressive. Let's bring in another rival, the Porsche Cayenne. It's much cheaper, and not just cheaper, but 1/3 to half the price depending on the model. A used Urus might be $280,000 $290,000 to $390,000, while a Cayenne runs $80,000 to $215,000. And the Cayenne's base engine has just 348 horsepower compared to the Urus's 657 horsepower. But the Cayenne is more fuel efficient, and its depreciation hits harder. Urus holds 34.8% of its value over 5 years. Cayenne loses nearly 47% of its value. That means if you buy a $300,000 Urus, you might still get back around $195,000 in 5 years, whereas the Cayenne drops far more. So even resale favors the Urus when looking through the lens of exclusivity and value retention. Now, let's look at how crazy Urus demand has been. In 2024, Lamborghini set a record. They sold 10,687 vehicles, making it their best year ever. About 3,000 of those were in the US, their largest market. Revenues rose by 16% to 3.09 billion euros, while operating profit jumped 15.5% to 835 million euros. The Urus accounted for 60.4% of all Lamborghini sales in 2019. The Urus has added on a whole bunch of sales to Lamborghini, which, in the end, is a good thing. That's more than half the brand's production gone into one model. It's not just popular, it's foundational. But Lamborghini didn't rest. They launched higher performance and refined versions like the Urus Performante with about 657 horsepower, lighter weight, sharper suspension, and even a rally mode. That dropped the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time to around 3.3 seconds. Then came the Urus S, a more comfort-oriented variant that still boasts 657 horsepower, but delivers with a softer ride, reaching speeds of 100 kilometers per hour in about 3.5 seconds. And now, the biggest leap yet, the Urus SE, a plug-in hybrid. It is powered by the V8's 650-odd horsepower, with a 192 horsepower electric motor, yielding nearly 800 horsepower combined. It can sprint 0 to 62 miles per hour in around 3.4 seconds, offers electric-only driving, and slashes emissions by up to 80%. Lamborghini plans to have full plug-in hybrid electric vehicle lineup soon, and a fully electric Urus by 2029. Let's touch on some real-world perspective. One Urus owner shared that the most expensive upkeep item wasn't oil or brakes, it was tires. On large 23-inch tires, they needed 4 new ones by 8,000 miles, costing over $4,200. Fuel economy was surprisingly good, around 19 to 20 miles per gallon overall. Here's how it all adds up. You get supercar power in a practical package. You get exclusivity with surprising resale. You beat rivals on performance and style. You unlock a brand that used to feel out of reach. That's why the Urus is more than just an SUV. It's a cultural shift. The Urus didn't just fill a gap, it created a new Lamborghini identity. It broadened who bought Lamborghinis, boosted revenue, and helped bankroll new hybrids like the Lamborghini Revuelto and the upcoming Lamborghini Temerario. You see the full picture? The Lamborghini Urus isn't just a big car with a fancy badge. It's speed, drama, and utility wrapped in one roaring Italian package. It rescued the brand, reshaped the market, and kept Lamborghini's supercar dream alive on roads, tracks, and charging stations everywhere.